Welcome back to another episode of Stuck in a Side Quest. We're talking about the D&D movie, so spoilers ahead of time. I hope y'all enjoy it. Let's get to the episode.
And welcome.
We should probably say that there's spoilers since it's new.
Spoilers, if you don't know it. I got one right in my pocket right here.
Don't do it.
I got to do it. It's right here.
He did
I'm
that
gonna-
in the theater.
Drive off a bridge.
You probably should.
I can store things in here though, all the way to my armpit. Sorry.
So we just saw the new D&D movie, D&D Among Thieves.
Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among Thieves.
We just saw it.
Wait, we just saw a movie?
Saw it, came straight back here, didn't talk about it.
I saw
Definitely not
my
in the car.
icy.
Yeah, definitely didn't talk about it in the car at all.
Yeah, definitely
We
didn't.
talked about it a little bit, but we're saving it for y'all. All 12 of y'all. It's got to eventually move from 12, doesn't it? Maybe it's 13.
Don't
It's
worry.
more than 12.
I think
12
it's
is my lucky number.
I think it dropped. I think it's like 9 now.
There were
Yeah,
12
probably.
Absolutely
decided.
not.
It's all right. For the 9 of you still watching, I'm sorry.
And I've came up with a new system for rating movies. It's the quality of loot, 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Quality
I
of
like it.
loot.
We're gonna try it out. Yeah. How many loots do we're gonna give it? We can do it now or at the end.
We should
can
do it at the end.
Let's do it at
probably.
the end because I've been known to change my mind about things after talking about it with other
Yeah.
Hmm. I think
So
we
you're
just got a sneak
indecisive.
peek of what Katie felt.
2-4. All right. So the movie starts off. It opens up. I'm just kidding. You're gonna tell the whole thing.
Chris Pine.
Oh,
I will say off the top, if you are a D&D player, then you will like this movie. I feel like more than somebody who has not played D&D and has no idea what D&D is.
very
sure.
well said.
There's a lot of times where I was saying, "This is what this is," and Tyler was like, "What?"
Trevor, no. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Trevor goes, "Oh my god."
I did not say, "Oh my
He
god."
didn't say, "Oh my god," but he was like, "It's a bear owl." I was like, "A bear owl?"
An
And the guy-
owl
Owl
bear.
An
bear.
owl
Owl
bear.
bear.
Fuck. Sorry.
That's like one of the most classic D&D monsters. Like that's everybody. That's like common knowledge.
Well,
what an owl bear is.
Trevor's
it's in
like,
the commercials.
it's an owl bear. I'm like, "What's an owl bear?" That apparently. Well, and then like 3 seconds later, the guy goes, "She's an owl bear," and I was like, "Damn, Trevor, you could have waited a second, man."
The classes that we see are a druid, barbarian, paladin, Bard.
Sorcerer.
and a sorcerer. Well, I have to say that I do like the sorcerer because I have played a sorcerer just like that. Exactly like that. There's like one part, spoilers, I'll just say it, but
I mean,
there's like this bridge, and it was definitely a D&D reference because the guy was like, take 2 steps, and when you do this, and you have to do this, like, when somebody...
It's
if
a
you play,
puzzle.
if you play D&D, you know that you give some DMs, this has happened to me, they'll give you like a riddle or what you're supposed
And
to
the
do.
DM
and they're
will
like,
work real hard on these things.
yeah, and then they're like, I'm not repeating it, you have to remember it. And everybody's like,
who was writing it down?
well, he immediately steps on the bridge and just destroys the puzzle. Which they stay true to the funny stuff that happens during D&D campaigns when you're just playing with friends around a table, which I enjoyed a lot because I could see a lot of what happens is what we would have done in our D&D campaigns and stuff like that.
Me and Tyler were guessing what they rolled the entire time. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, they must have rolled a 2 on that one.
Yeah, you can kind of guess like, oh, that was probably a 1 deception check. That was
Yeah.
like a,
When
Or they
she-
get hit by the
when
sword and you're like, oh,
the druids in
pass.
the armor, and she like waves and he waves and he goes, "Hey!" Turns around. And I was like, "You failed that deception check."
there was a lot of funny moments in it that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yes.
One of the funniest scenes to me is at the end where he's singing the song, but it's not really him, and his whole face starts
Melting.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
It's
pretty
'cause-
funny.
And they do that. I just realized it because he's losing concentration on the spell. so he can't keep it together because his foot is stuck. I feel like a lot of those things are almost like you have to know D&D to even catch them a little bit. Like one of the big bad, I guess they're BBEG or whatever, big bad
Evil guy.
is a red wizard, and she uses 9th level spells off the rip.
Yeah.
Time stop. I was like, that's a 9th level spell. And then when she used Meteor Swarm, I was like, oh, that's Meteor Swarm. He had no idea what that was.
I was like, yep.
Tyler
Yeah,
doesn't play a
yeah.
lot of spellcasting.
We've never
classes.
gotten that high.
Yeah.
So when I saw the 3 things fall, my mind immediately went to Magic Missile because I know you get 3, and I was like, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
She's doing that back to back.
I was thinking, I was like, it'd be really cool if we made a movie about our campaigns. And I was like, no, it probably wouldn't because it just stopped halfway fucking through.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Shade.
A lot of shade.
You too.
I
Ooh.
finished the last campaign I did.
Which one?
The Harry Potter one.
We never finished
We wrapped
that.
it up.
Yes, we did.
We did?
I think we
Yes.
did.
And then I did a one-shot at Christmas, and that was the last thing I did.
Tyler
We
just left
finished
halfway
Strahd
through
before that, too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like we...
Probably shouldn't.
I
do
just
that.
didn't make y'all fight him at the end.
yeah, we just rushed it.
But that was because I could tell all of y'all were ready to get it over with.
Yeah. We should do that campaign so we know what to do. It's not that hard.
That's not
Just
the point.
replay Strahd.
No.
Oh,
The
the
campaign
one
of
from the
movie.
movie.
I'd have to say, to get into it a little bit, the story it's pretty good. I mean, it's not like anything groundbreaking. The movie's not groundbreaking, I'll say that, but if you're an avid D&D player, I think you will enjoy it.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, here's what I told Tyler in the car while we were coming over here. I told Tyler, I was like, this is a movie that I could show my parents and they could enjoy without knowing any of it, and then realize that's what we do. You know, like, that's the fun there is in this. Like, it's not just...
No, that actually does. That is, now that you're saying that, I feel like you could show this movie to like somebody who hasn't played and be like,
A noob.
this could be, maybe that's probably what they were going for. Like, this is pretty much a D&D campaign. Like,
It honestly inspired me because all of the scenery in the background, that, like, I guess my brain just doesn't go that far when we're in a campaign.
y'all have been to
And
that
it
city.
always looks like a Western, like in my head.
A
So
Western?
there's nobody around. There's dirt floors everywhere. And
Tumbleweeds
it's like,
going across.
Which they referenced that in the big fight at the
a basket goes across.
yeah,
Yeah,
they have the
yeah.
hands and the basket
Yeah.
rolls across. Thought that was pretty funny.
Because y'all have been to that city. There's a
Mirth
lo-
is from that city.
Yeah. And
I'll
I've
never
you've seen
winter.
picture of it, yeah. Where it's like the big castle and everything.
Yeah.
Looks like
And Baldur's Gates, and it's the Sword Coast campaign, which is like the main or setting. It's the Sword Coast setting, and all
They
those.
say that at the beginning.
dumbass.
No, I was just saying,
Yeah.
like, that was just something I caught.
And like Baldur's Gate was up there, and that's
Yeah,
one
I
of the
remember that.
games and everything.
Yeah, it perfectly, like, captures everything about it. Like, you got all the characters' backstory in some way. And
She brought that up.
it was everything. Like, the funny moments, the trekking across while the bard sings. Like,
Yeah.
literally, we've played through all these
the
moments.
dungeon crawl
Yes.
moments where you're like, let's get through the
Yes.
action part.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
Oh my
guys.
God.
that I
That's
was like,
worth watching the movie for.
I said to
honestly.
myself, I was like, man, that looks like Bradley Cooper. And I was like, oh my God, that is Bradley Cooper.
Spoilers,
That's
but
hilarious.
Bradley Cooper plays a gnome, and the barbarian chick's into gnomes,
Yeah.
which is hilarious and definitely something that happens in
It
campaign.
made
He
me
ends
think-
up with a Goliath.
Well, it made me
Yeah.
think of like our first ever campaign with Trevor, because I was a gnome and Haley was a barbarian.
Yeah. It made me think of Bella too, and she was a Goliath, and she always was into the tiny things around her.
I like the coin scene with the skeletons because they kept trying and kept trying and kept
Yeah.
trying.
Yes.
Dude.
And I was like, we have done this where everybody takes a turn doing the same thing until we
Yeah.
finally get
Or
the
ask
answer.
a question.
Yes.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes. It was pretty funny.
Yes.
Does that
Dang it.
count?
Grab a shovel.
Yeah. I like the way it was talking about how he had to tune the helmet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I've
how
never
they
thought
reference
about
that.
and I never thought about like a tuning like that. Because usually when you're playing, you're just like, I tuned to this. But
I took a
might
long
start,
rest. I tuned.
Yeah. It would be cool to start implementing like to attune to like powerful things. You have to kind of go through a trial or almost to see if you can get through it or whatever. Because he was probably rolling checks like, what kind of check would that be? Probably like either wisdom or intelligence, whatever he needed to attune to it. And
Confidence.
Yeah, and
They worked like kind of.
how D&D campaigns go is like you have your main story and then you have all your character story arcs. And they kind of try to go through that within the time frame of a movie. You can't most campaigns go through.
They did really good with that, though, kind of
Yeah.
showing everybody's backstories and where they came from.
And how they like resolve what they're dealing with at the moment, because like the sorcerer's not very confident and he gets confident in himself, and then I mean the barbarian, I don't really know what her backstory or what she achieved.
Well, with the whole marriage thing, she
Oh,
left her
yeah.
tribe, and
Yeah,
yeah.
she had to deal with all that. And then the bard, Chris Pine, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he actually did pretty good as
He
a
was
bard.
pretty good. Bard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't care for him as an actor, and I've never liked him in anything, but I did like him in this.
But what have you seen him in?
Star Trek.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
And that movie that y'all showed us.
You didn't like Hell or High Water?
No.
Oh.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Right?
That's one of Tyler's top favorite movies.
Sorry.
I love Hell or High Water. I love
Because
Chris
it's
Pine.
cowboy.
Chris Pine just, I don't know.
Ask me what country I have.
Huh?
Ask me what country I have.
What kind of tree do you have?
It's Chris Pine. Vine reference of the day.
The only thing I wish that they would have done with him was make at least show some spells or show that. I mean, he did persuade
Healing
and
spells or
stuff,
something.
but I mean, he didn't do any of like he could have done vicious mockery. They could have done
Yeah.
thrown something in there, which it might have not worked so much for a movie setting because you got your sorcerer and your druid, and they kind of kept everybody like to specifically like the druid. She didn't cast spells; she just wild shaped the whole time.
Yeah.
And she does wild shape a lot, way out of the rules. But
For
it
sure.
made sense for a movie where it's like keeps going, and like if she got two during the whole thing, then she'd probably be pretty lame.
They were probably practicing Kiss. Keep it simple. Stupid. That's what they were doing. Just keeping it simple. For
And
the
then
people that don't play D&D that do watch it and we're like, oh my god, I could get into D&D. And you're hit by the freight train of crap you have to learn.
I do also understand why they named the movie Dungeons and Dragons, but at the same time, I don't know if that gets people in the theaters either. I know it gets the people who like Dungeons and Dragons in
Yeah.
the theater.
It was the second day it's been out, and we were at an 8 o'clock show, and there's like 20 people in there.
Yeah, but think of it this way though, just from what you're going off of. If this movie would have been named something else, we would have never went and saw it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe. I
They-
mean,
They would have had to thrown a Dungeons and Dragons movie, and then
But that's
Said what
but
it
that's what
was.
I'm
Could've
saying
called
though.
it-
Like if it would have just been called something
Bunkers and badasses.
well, if it was just called a Thieves,
Honor Among Thieves.
Honor Among
Right.
Thieves, it's and you saw the trailer and you kind of realized what it was going through, we might have still seen it.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
they
But I'm
probably
just,
would have to throw a Dungeons and Dragons movie, which probably would have made it better if they were planning to make more. Because I mean, you could probably just span a whole universe off of this and just have different party members and
They definitely left it where they could make another movie with those same characters.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think so. Only because, and I say that because of the bad guy that is talking to the, what is it, BBEG? Something like that, would you say?
Yeah,
BBEG.
big bad evil guy.
Yeah.
big bad evil.
what was his name? Hog? Hawes?
Forge.
Forge. Whoa.
Hog.
Just saw
What are you
it
thinking
and already
about?
forgot.
No, not him.
No,
I'm
you're talking about
about
the chick, the red
yeah,
wizard talking to other
yes.
chicks.
It's a lynch.
A lich.
A lich.
Tyler, all right,
a
so
lynch.
I can go over all the things because stuff pops up and I'm like, I've seen this
Which
before.
I told Tyler that there's a lich in Adventure Time, and I still don't think he knows what I'm talking about. So
I had to explain to Tyler what a lich is, and it's like a classic D&D BBEG. It's a wizard that they get so powerful that they want to become immortal, so they basically have to give like they put their soul into a phylactery. This is what it is. It's getting nerdy. But they'll put their soul into a phylactery, and so if they die, they don't actually die. Because
Voldemort.
Their soul's still there. And I'm not going to get metagame because people might be facing liches right now. But liches are like...
And they look bony.
Yeah, they're like bony, their body's decaying or whatever, but they're still alive. A lot of the red wizards are liches. That main guy who did that, I'm pretty sure he pops up in the campaign we were playing. A lot of things popped up, like the Cult of Dragons y'all faced before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was probably during the same era. The Cult of Dragons was probably trying to...
I wish we would have seen some little goblins or something like that. Though.
Yeah, they did. I did notice that the characters they picked, the races or species they picked, were the more obscure one.
Yeah.
Like, I think that first guy was an orc, but they didn't have, like, a lot of orcs in there. They didn't have...
Yeah, I noticed that.
They didn't have dwarves. You only saw that one.
Yeah.
Unless there was one in the background.
They
that
had
I
a
missed.
dragonborn. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the dragonborn.
Well,
was a
then
big
there
one.
was a
The bird.
yeah, Eric.
And then the
Eric
cat.
Crocodile. Those
Oh, yeah,
have
the
came on
cat.
way later.
The CGI was real shitty at certain points, but I kind of felt like that about House of the Dragons. Like, I think CGI has reached a level where they do so much that it's overdone and it looks like a video game.
See,
But
but you
even-
don't know crappy CGI until you rewatch The Walking Dead, and then you
Oh.
really
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
what we have.
Gosh. Man, we've been rewatching that. The CGI, that is
Terrible.
horrendous.
It did look like they tried to keep it practical when they could, though.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, even you can almost notice that they got, like, a backdrop for when they were asking the dead people questions.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of looked like a set.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that a little bit more. Like, you try to dress it up instead of just throwing up CGI
Yeah.
the most you can. And I feel like they did. I mean, it was a little goofy. But
The fat dragon was the best part.
Yeah,
too.
that was good.
see, that's like that. Thank you for reminding me of that. Because that's like something somebody would come up with. Like, I'm just going to make a fat dragon
That just
chases-
rolls
yeah,
around,
it
yeah.
rolls and, like, it slides after him.
Yeah.
It's so fucking fat, trying to eat him. And
Or-
it couldn't get off its breath because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too fat. That's a character made up in some DM's head. That'd be like, this is fucking hilarious. And that you just roll with when you come up with it. That was pretty great.
I like all the different like creatures that we got to see in this movie though.
Yeah, it was cool.
That
like-
projecting panther, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's really
a
cool.
displacer beast. That's what they're called.
Projecting panther.
Same
I was
thing.
pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
It just projects all its childhood
Well,
trauma
that
on you.
and what we saw three different types of dragons, and then
Yeah.
we saw
Yes.
the fat one. We saw the big one that was flying.
The
and
black dragon, it shot the acid. That's why
Yeah.
it was like across the ground.
and then the small
The
like
stone.
yeah.
That was another thing that was super funny and cool about them raising the dead, because they would tell their story up until they died,
Yeah.
and
No.
like, no,
Well, they got cut in half.
yeah, he was like, "Oh, we got nowhere with this one."
Yeah, where he hit his head on the tub, and that's
That
how
is-
he
Yeah,
died.
I laughed very hard at that. That was
No,
hilarious.
you're thinking of my brother. Yeah,
I'm Sven, not Vin.
They did the perfect amount to draw that whole scene out, where it wasn't like two. You weren't like, all right, this isn't funny anymore. But it was like what 4, 5, 6 of them,
Well,
and then
I liked it a lot because it was piecing together like a puzzle, so it was like actually pretty cool.
right, like they aren't really having to try and figure it out.
Yeah, and yeah,
And the
Lost my
very
train of thought.
beginning with the prison escape, where they're like, "We were gonna pardon you."
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's something that would happen in a campaign. Like, they roll and they don't think you got it. You're like, "Oh man, I rolled a
That's
a
like
14."
a Tyler move where
Yeah.
he just makes a split-second decision, and the whole group is like,
I want to grab him and jump out the window with him and ride him.
we're all like, we could at least see what the outcome is
And
first.
Trevor's like, just roll. Nat 20.
Well,
Damn it.
it's like after it happens and
That
y'all,
was
like,
definitely a nat 20
Yeah.
to get
Oh
to
yeah.
Yeah.
and when they like fly out and stuff, that's like the DM. Like he just lets it go and then goes after everything's done. Goes, you actually passed the persuasion check.
We
and
were gonna
would've
let
been-
you
You would
go.
have been pardoned, but
Yeah.
now you got to deal with this. Now you're fugitives.
I like that his name was Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah.
I think
Jonathan.
in the end, I saw in the credits somebody's name was Jonathan. Too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I noticed that too.
that's funny. That's like a little Easter egg, maybe.
I
It was
like
Jarnathan.
I know,
Oh.
but
I know so many people who do that where they take a simple name and twist it like one way to where it's
I'm
goofy.
Rayleigh Oda. That'll be my next character's name.
Ray Liotta. God rest his soul.
Well, Rayleigh.
Yeah, it's gotta be Rayleigh
Oda.
and then Oda.
And I think the fight scenes were pretty cool. They were pretty dope. There wasn't a lot of party fighting like you get in D&D. They kind of saved that for the end. I think that was kind of like a ode to like when they are all around them, because that's kind of what you do. When
Yes,
you're facing the big bad, you get around them and everybody just starts
Right.
throwing
and
everything.
it
Paladin
shows you how
buddy.
fast it was going, because that is like, even though it's slow for us because we're just taking turns, you realize in an actual battle, like if you saw it all, it's going by so quickly.
I figured it out. My thought process when we're fighting is like battling in
Like Final Fantasy or something.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's like a Final
That-
Fantasy
yeah.
where each one takes their turn.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. So when we're playing D&D, I'm like, all right, Katie's hitting now it's me, and it's like there's so much time in between, but really it's all on
That's-
top of each
I
other.
try to every time we play and like there's a sequence of probably about a round. I get through it before I imagine it, and then I try to imagine it all happening at one time,
Hmm.
because that's kind of how it is.
That's
So-
kind of
That-
what he was saying though. That's I think of like XCOM.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you know that you're moving, then you move, then you
which
move.
is all those games are like, I don't know about Final
Turn-based.
Fantasy, but they're
turn based.
based on like D&D.
Oh hell yeah! Knights of the Old Republic literally
Yeah, rolls.
Yeah.
all the way down there
After-
is all D&D.
If you've played it and then you haven't played it and you play D&D, go back and play it. Then you're like, oh my god,
You
you
understand it.
realize-
I'm just building another
so-
character.
Yeah, but like so when we first played Knights of the Old Republic as kids and stuff like that, didn't understand it at all.
I don't know
Nothing.
why it's
now,
not hitting.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Now going back and playing that game, you can build like this OP character because you know how to do it, and I thought that
You
was
know
pretty
what
cool.
things are gonna miss or
Right.
more likely to miss and stuff.
All your
like that.
modifiers and everything else like that.
And I think the movie even probably now helps D&D players because they're like, oh, that's how I can imagine combat.
Yeah, I like that last battle the most because that's what I thought of. Because I try to keep it, because you've always told us it's 6 seconds per like round or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like you said, it's hard to picture it that
Yeah.
way. But actually seeing it, I'm like, that's what it is.
Yeah. I definitely think the whole movie, if we play again eventually, it will help me broaden my horizons a little bit and kind of get out of my box that I'm in when I'm playing.
Well, and it was nice to see a bard like that because
That's not me playing it.
no, I'm not anything
Yes.
against you.
I'm gonna go home and rewatch this movie about 400
Well,
times.
actually,
and
that's
just-
more of a bard because he used his loot so much to hit
Right.
people.
Yeah.
That's a you bard.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That man was like doming people with his loot.
Yeah, but I there could have been more for him. I feel like he was like
Yeah.
the less played on character, but like him being the distraction and like different stuff like that. A bard is like one of the trickiest things like to understand
Yeah.
to play.
I
So it was
thought-
nice to see it like that.
Well, I was just gonna say that I thought that each one of the characters did a really good job with their class. Like the paladin,
Yeah.
lawfully good, you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
straight narrow, and the way he was, and
They made an ode to that
Yeah.
because when he was like, they were going to steal everything, all the loot, and he was like,
Right.
you can't steal all the loot. You
Yeah.
can't do that. That's not good.
Or he was like swear on the harps.
Harper.
The Harper. Is it Harper?
Yeah,
Or harp.
which y'all are a part of. Y'all were a part of in y'all's
Oh.
campaign. Shows how much Tyler paid attention.
Didn't learn about him until now.
but anyways, I was just saying that I thought each class was good
Yeah, like
with the character.
the
that it was with.
barbarian, Helga. Is it Helga?
Yeah.
Holga.
Olga.
She rages. Like anytime
Yeah.
she goes off, you know she's raging. Which somebody who doesn't play D&D wouldn't know that. But if you know D&D, you're like, oh, she's raging.
But
Yeah.
like you sit there and think about it, like the barbarian, I would think would be like this grumpy person, and she kind of comes off like that, you know, and saying which the bard is, you know, he's perfect,
Yeah.
being you know
She does pretty good at
charismatic and everything else.
being
But,
pretty dumb too. Not like super dumb to the point where it's stupid,
right,
but like She was
She has
a deer.
flaws.
A deer. Talking about her turning into a deer in the middle of the
A castle. Yeah.
So you did turn into a deer.
But like, and then like, even with the druid, like I would picture a druid kind of being skeptical, not really knowing whether or not she can trust this group or that group. You know?
That's really tieflings.
Well,
They
yeah.
did a really
Well,
good
yeah, I
tieflings.
guess you're right.
And that's what I was gonna say. You instantly like get her backstory, and she's like a tiefling that was given up for adoption. That's why she's not bad. And like Mirth is that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deforestation.
Also, I saw, there was a really dramatic death in the movie as well. And that just reminds me of, in D&D, when we battle, that's the part I look most forward to. I want to
Death?
kill the person,
Oh.
and I want to explain how I killed them
Oh,
and
yeah.
how
About the
gruesome it is.
Owl bear.
That's totally what I look forward to, and I want to make it gruesome, and I want to make it important that I killed that person.
That's what I told Trevor in the car. I was like, that was totally. She got the last blow, and she was explaining the most dramatic way to kill this person.
I don't know if this popped in y'all's head. When it started happening, I was like, the Avengers with
Yeah.
the Hulk. I was
Yeah.
like, this is literally
Yeah, it did
that.
remind me of that.
Well, it reminded me with Iron Man with the Hulk when he's like, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. Yeah. I can't remember which. Is that's Civil War, ain't it?
I like how they did Simon too, because he starts off so unpowerful and he's doing like basic magic, which is you at level 1. But then when you reach like level 20, you can fight the bad guy, because all the other characters seem more established. So you get to grow with him like you do your
Yeah.
own character. So I like that they set him up like
He
Dude.
was very good comic relief, though.
Yeah.
He was pretty funny.
I agree with that though. Like, just sitting here thinking about this movie, they did a really good job, like, getting all of it. Like
Yeah.
you just said, like, you see the transition from like the characters leveling up and just each one of the classes and what they did. They just all around did a
And
really good job.
character development with each other too, like
Right.
forming that group bond when you're supposed to like barely know each other in the first place.
Right.
But somehow y'all are stuck together and you don't know why.
Yeah.
And they kind of even allude to stuff like when she was like, he was like, you can ask 5 questions. And the tiefling was like, that's weird. Why is it 5? He's like, I don't know. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it goes.
That's just how the spells work out.
Well,
He's-
Holga's character too, like how she gets her weapon at the beginning, and then her thing with potatoes. Like
Yeah.
there's always that character that has that weird thing.
Like Kinley and the meat pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tells you how much she loves Kira. Was that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Because she threw a potato at the dude. I was like,
She
True.
wasted a potato.
yeah.
Well, I think they did really good with her with going back to the barbarian. Like, usually there's, like, the stereotype that the barbarian is big and dumb, and they kind of get stuck. Some people, like, get stuck in playing that barbarian like that. And she has that stereotype, but then she is also, like, super complex, and she becomes a lovable character, and there's a lot of stuff that goes around her that's like, oh, she's very vital to this, which should happen with barbarians. It reminds me a lot of, Travis Willingham's character in Critical Role, Grog. Like, that's the same way he is. Like, he'll be super dumb, and he's like the big dumb guy who just throws stuff, and then he'll get like super complex, and everybody's like, damn.
Where'd that come from?
Sometimes he'll play out a character, and they're like, Grog wouldn't know that. He's like, because there was one time where they're trying to find a book on werewolves, and they're like looking in the library, and Travis rolled a natural 20. So it was just like the barbarian was like, and he grabbed the book and goes, werewolves? He kind of looks around and like, I can't believe this man just found this book and he can't read. So they stick to the barbarian. I actually really like her as a character. She did
Yeah.
pretty good.
I was waiting on Dom to show up.
Dom.
Yeah.
Family.
We're a family.
Yeah, I like the sorcerer because I've played a sorcerer just like that. I feel like that might be like a stereotype of a sorcerer, like skinny, scrawny guy, don't know what he's doing. Because like the whole story with a sorcerer is like they're born with the power, so they don't have to work for it like a wizard. They don't have to train or anything. They're just innate ability to cast magic. And they did a lot with the wild magic where stuff just goes off randomly. That was pretty neat.
Fresh cut grass.
That's prestidigitation. If I said that right. That's what he did, though. Because it actually says that in the I think in the spell. In prestidigitation, it says that you can make rudimentary stuff like that, and it's like the smell of fresh cut grass. And if you didn't play D&D, you wouldn't get that. But I got it. And I enjoyed it.
We get it, Trevor. You got everything.
Not everything. There's probably some stuff in there that I had no idea. Because I was like, is that alluding to something? I was like, I don't know. I haven't played that much.
I was thinking they would have like some bigger names in D&D in the movie, like Matt Mercer.
Yeah, and Critical Role.
Yeah, and I wish you said his name.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard would have been in there at some point. That would have been funny.
Well, it might be flopping, it might not be, but I feel like if the movies keep going, then the D&D people who love D&D, like all the celebrities and stuff, might actually, you might not want to look that up, but might actually get into it.
Dang.
What does all that mean, Addison? Tell us, movie buff.
Well,
It's
IMDb
doing
gave
okay or
it
not
a
really?
4.7, so.
Oh, well, that's not good, but
No, it's doing good. It made $6 million just on preview night before opening day,
well, that's pretty cool.
and it's made $40 million on opening just Friday box office. So it's probably at almost $50 million already. It's only been out for 2 days.
That's
That's
pretty
not bad.
good.
What was the budget? Can you see that?
That sometimes studios don't release that till after the.
So you
Yeah,
don't know that they
theatrical
fucked it up? They took $100 million to make it?
Oh.
Wow.
There you go.
151 million.
So they've made a third of it back in 2 days.
Yeah.
Wait.
So that's good. I mean, that's a good start.
Is that the? Oh, it is. Okay, I was about to say because there's other ones down there. I was like, is that the right one?
Yeah, they're already close to a third of it in 2 days, so that's a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Especially during this time when theaters are.
All right, everybody watching this, you've got to go watch it. We got to get them over that
should. Yeah,
151 million mark.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot.
I did too.
It wasn't anything groundbreaking,
Yeah.
but it was a fun movie, especially if you like Dungeons and Dragons.
And good humor.
Let me put it
Yeah,
this
it
way.
was actually pretty good humor. Like, I laughed pretty good at it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Let me put it this way. So it was pretty great for me because the last movie I saw in theaters was Jurassic World Dominion.
You haven't been back to the theater since then?
No,
It scarred him that
Oh
much.
my God.
it was horrible. So sitting in there and actually watching a movie that was good, it was like movie of the year.
The last couple of
Oh,
movies, yeah, the
alright,
last
hold
couple
on.
of movies
Bump
I
the
saw
brakes.
Yeah, I
were
didn't do
movies
all
I
that.
could have watched at home instead. So this one was one where I was like, oh, I feel like it was worth my ticket. Like,
Yeah.
this was a good one to see on the screen.
It was
sure.
fun. It kept me awake, kept me interested.
It was worth the
What else happened in the movie? I already
$36
forgot.
we paid for.
They
the
did start
popcorn
off with the whole
icy.
cast being in front of you and going, thank you so much for being in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that was a
theater."
little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since COVID
They did?
started.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get people to go back to theaters.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I don't know if that's working for people. If thanking them at the
We were
beginning
there.
is working, but
Oh, I think it helps that
I appreciated
there are
it.
still movies that only
Chris
go
Pine
to
was
theaters
talking
first.
to me.
yeah.
That is true, and they are trying to. You can tell certain movies are trying to do that, where it's like only in theaters. And
Or it's
Which-
like
I'm kind of glad it's like that because I don't want streaming services to kill the movie theaters. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
I don't know
Oh,
if it'll
so,
ever kill it, but I mean, they definitely aren't getting that
they
kind
will
of
never
money.
die. They keep charging $26 for a
That's true.
bag of popcorn and 2 drinks.
Yeah, but this is typical. You know what
That's
you're
how they
getting
make
into,
all their money. That's
right?
We all know that. That's why I only
Maybe
bought
eventually we'll go
about
back
a
into
Would you rather
drive-ins.
the movie tickets be $20-something and the popcorn be like $10?
It wouldn't make a difference.
It would, because I can go to the movie theaters without buying popcorn.
He can bring in his Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Right. Next time might be Subway. Who knows?
Subway, you
Scott,
bring in a
if
full
I'm-
footlong.
If I'm at the movie theater and you pull a foot long out, first question, where have you been keeping it? Second question,
Don't worry about it.
why?
Because, man, sometimes you don't want popcorn. Maybe you
Speaking of
actually
that,
want a meal.
I grew up where we
Eagle
would eat
subs?
dinner before we went to the movie
Oh,
theater.
That's smart, because then you won't spend money on popcorn.
Yeah. I
mean,
told
yeah.
Tyler specifically this time. I was like, I want popcorn.
Yeah.
And so we didn't eat dinner tonight, so we just had popcorn for dinner, and
That's
we'll
what we
probably snack at the house later. But
Yeah, Tyler got an icy and a large drink.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
so
like
Yeah.
Trevor
four
got a
sips of it.
drink.
That was
Oh.
his.
I had a friend who brought a whole rotisserie chicken in.
Heck
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
that is what I'm talking about.
A whole rotisserie chicken.
I was pretty mad that no one replied to me.
Oh, I saw you. I saw it.
How to use? Never mind.
What else happened in the movie? I forgot already.
I like the gelatinous cube
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
where
and the
the
mimic,
dude got pushed into it.
and that's what they didn't have the one that moves towards you. That's terrifying because you had to run away from it. But
That so they have a few D&D Funkos. They don't have a lot, but one of the first ones was the green one that like
Mhm.
moves towards you. They just did WonderCon pops, and that's the one that just came out is the clear one, like the one in the movie.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the clear one's like a trap. It's more of a trap, and it doesn't really move.
Oh, I like the mimic.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that
cool.
was good because that I should have been expecting it, but I
Oh,
wasn't
I
when
was.
it happened. I
I
was
was-
like, oh shit.
And when I saw the chest, I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for one of them to open it up
I
and
thought
it'd be a
it would.
mimic.
I thought it would have been a lot funnier if like they were looking at another group in there and they opened the chest and all of them just got ate by it or just
Yeah.
sucked them in. That would have been funny.
Or the whole group that looked at him when they said, "No, we know of a way to really get out because they're all gonna die," and they just all like,
Yeah, they're all just
What
like,
do you mean?
should we listen to them? Like, I like that scene a lot. I
like
thought the
the
maze
scene
scene
where
was
she
really
turns
cool.
into the snake and is going through it and getting out, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because that's like a classic.
Druid moment. They did.
I
Very good
really
with her.
like that
Well, no,
druid
but
moment.
It was a classic, like making up some random ass shit that nobody would have thought.
Wait
of
until
to
the
get out of
gong
the situation.
sounds.
Yeah, right.
Wait, the projecting panther is right there coming at us.
Displacer beast.
Projecting panther.
But they did very good. Even though she didn't cast spells, they kept it true to the wild shape, and because that's like one of the big. That's the big druid thing. Is like you can turn into different animals, and they didn't even. It's almost like when you play a druid, you have the certain things that you like to turn into. So she only turned into those few with, like the snake being kind of like out of character a little bit because that's like the only thing that she could do. Because I thought she was going to go in there and I thought she was going to turn into like the owl bear or something and just bust everybody.
Yeah.
"Oh,
out.
I thought she was gonna turn into a worm again."
Yeah.
And
Oh,
inch
yeah.
your way out. Just so
that would have taken so long.
Oh yeah, in the whole fly scenario, every druid does that, where you just like just turn into a fly and fly
Yeah.
in there, and like she like failed the perception check because that happens every time when you're a fly. It's like, all right, if you're gonna be a fly, do a perception check, and she's like, wait, there's a wild shape in here. That's like something D&D.
I
Yeah.
smell.
Yeah. They're
A
trying to get the
druid.
hell out.
And they kind of did a chase scene, but I have never done those a lot. There's like whole rules behind the chase scene that I haven't done, it was fun. when she
That
like,
was
running away.
I enjoyed watching the chase scene though, and just seeing all the different animals that she turned into. I thought it was pretty good.
He did the bard, even though he kept the morale up, and that's what like bards are supposed to do. And he was probably technically casting one of the like morale boosting, like around the campfire. There's one that like heals everybody and stuff like that.
What do? I make plans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Went to at the end, he was like, I didn't think that was gonna work, and everybody else was like, you said that you thought it was gonna work. That was probably the same thing.
yeah.
If
I
we
mean-
don't keep failing, we'll fail.
Yeah.
That didn't really make a lot of sense.
Remember, he boosted the barbarians' morale too after she saw Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With his songs.
When she
Yeah.
left the house and she was all sad and depressed.
Then he boosted morale while she was dying.
And they brought her back.
Spoiler
Just
Just
like
like,
brought her
alert.
back to life.
just like classic D&D. You always
Yeah.
bring your death isn't really like one thing is death is just like an obstacle, and like usually you'll end up bringing somebody back. It happens a lot. Like you have to do a lot just to permanently die. You have to be like dying at the beginning or not.
Or just want to die because
Yeah.
you're tired of playing that character.
Because you're tired of playing a bard.
Or that like the rule that the Red Wizard's knife or whatever, you can't.
Yeah, I didn't know that about Red Wizards. I didn't know they had a knife like that. It was pretty
Oh,
cool.
I like the wand too, because there's so many wands that have like one thing that they do,
Yeah,
and anybody can pick one up or whatever.
it's a spellcasting focus.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool that they threw that in there.
And that
Talking about the staff.
no, there's a wand. Or are you talking about the staff?
I guess it was a staff. It was a short.
Oh, yeah,
it was
yeah,
short though.
That was
Talking about the portal.
Oh well, I guess it was short because it was the gnomes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
and it also was that was Dimension Door
Yeah.
I
because the
looked at Trevor and I
500
was
feet.
like, they got the portal gun up in this thing. There's some homebrew
that's
going
what I'm
on in this
thinking.
campaign.
And I was like, that's Dimension Door. That the rule is 500 feet that you can see. So I thought that was pretty cool. Which
500 yards is what he said.
is a big yards,
Yeah.
feet, yards, whatever. Not the
A
same.
quarter
That's a big
mile.
difference.
Yeah, it is a big
It's not
difference.
a quarter
but-
mile.
I thought that's what he said.
That it is. It is a
Yeah.
quarter mile. I was thinking about 5 tomatoes. That's feet. 5280 is 5,280
5
feet. in a
tomatoes.
mile.
That's how I thought
It
he
sounded
said.
like
I was
it's-
like 5 tomatoes.
That's what
It
you
sounded
say.
like
5 tomatoes. 5 tomato.
I thought you were saying
5280.
5 is too many toes. It was like something you made up to remember something.
Prince
PEMDAS.
Harry drank chocolate milk. I don't remember that one. Please excuse my dear Aunt
Prince
Sally.
Harry drink chocolate milk.
Or pizza, or whatever it was. Something at the end. Pizza for the planets.
What are you talking
My-
about?
You're losing. We're
Pizza
losing.
Planet.
Yeah.
That's from Toy Story.
The main fight, it was kind of interesting how it was like a D&D campaign where how you can pick up random people along the way. Like when we got, what was the little goblin character? that
Oh,
we found
yeah.
that one time?
Oh yeah.
It's like they got his daughter, and then she was the one that helped them beat the BBEG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
they
sounds
were
like a
all
good.
distracting her. She just put the little bracelet.
Yeah, and he counterspelled that 9th level spell, so either he rolled really good, or he knows 9th level spells. So either he's
Yeah.
level 20 or he's like level 10, and he rolled super good. Like he probably rolled a natural 20 when he counterspelled that
All them
spell.
doing the mannequin challenge, faking her out. Him holding the spell like that too. I felt like that takes a lot of and
I
not
like-
moving. And he didn't. He had the spell not moving. I was like,
I liked how he cast spells too. How he had that little thing, which
Yeah.
I think it was like a component pouch, which I
Mhm.
don't think sorcerers need, but it might have been something to do with his wild magic because he would ever do something and it would pop out, and that's like homebrewing. Like they want you to. They say when you make your do what they do when they cast spells. Like you want to explain. That's why I always like to tell people is explain what you do when you cast a spell.
he's
'cause
pulling his cock out.
it is part. It's part of your character development, and it kind
Pulls out
of
a cock gun. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna shut up. I can't follow the cock gun, but it shows you your character development and it's unique to your character, so it's all you, and that's how you made up your character. That's why I like Artificer so much. I hope they do make more and they do go into the different classes and stuff, because that'd be cool. Because
That would be cool.
they still got a lot of classes to go into. What classes did we not see? We didn't see Warlock.
We didn't see a blood hunter,
We didn't see Warlock.
warlock. We didn't see
A war or a fighter. I mean, I guess a knight could be a fighter, but there wasn't a legit
A
fighter.
ranger.
A ranger. That was one.
Cleric.
Yeah, we
They
kind of.
talked about clerics.
Yeah.
Yeah, but. we
They,
didn't-
yeah, you didn't see the healing person. That'd be cool because they didn't include that because usually a party always has a cleric that heals people, and y'all get a little bit of lore about Sword Coast. You got to see the Cult of Dragons. I was like, they probably don't
Trevor
know
had
who those
a
are
nerdgasm right next to me.
because they were talking about it. And I was like, I hope they bring up Tiamat because that's what it seemed like it was alluding to, because the whole Red Wizard thing involves they're in with the Cult of Dragons and they're the ones who help bring Tiamat back. Which I don't know if they'll do campaigns like that because I don't think I've ever heard a Honor Among Thieves type campaign. They did come out with a heist book though,
Mm.
which is kind of what they did.
Yeah.
And coming up with the random, putting the portal and gluing it to the bottom. That's some random ass shit that you just
Yeah.
thought about try to rack your
And
brain
then-
about how to do this.
Well, I don't understand. Did she bend over and accidentally put her hands on the mirror or the picture frame and push it out on accident while he's coming through?
I don't know.
No, I thought the guy just set it down and it. Oh, okay.
Because they sticks it to the bottom, and while she's in there, she like goes down, and then it breaks off while he's coming through it, and they grab hands, and
That might have been like the force of her going down on it, like it just pushed it off.
They
or
put
something.
sap on it, and so that sap's not going to hold very well.
it looked like she pushed it off on accident.
She
but,
probably did because they met at the same time, so it was like a force, and it like pushed it off.
Yeah,
Something
because
that
he only came out because he was trying to push it back, and then he fell all the way out and caught it with his feet.
Yeah, and then the guards on the horses were just pointing at it.
and that's like a DM going, let's see if the guards see you doing this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they don't see you, the meager dragon behind on the ground, but they do see the barbarian holding legs up.
Looking like she's doing something suspicious.
Yeah, like, what is she doing? That was pretty funny. So, do y'all want to rate it on how many loots? How the quality of loot?
Well,
Q,
I was
Q random thing that we
1
probably
to
aren't gonna do.
10, right?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
Explain
Loots.
the loot system.
I was just saying
It's
it's, a 1 to
just a
10. That's just
rating.
what I'm calling it.
Oh, okay,
His
cool.
It could be
isn't
special
his
towards us.
instrument,
I don't know. I don't want to do gold coins because that's not lame.
Isn't it his instrument? The
The
loot.
loot? No,
Yeah.
I was.
no. He's talking about like loot.
That's a
Oh.
LUTE loot.
Yeah.
This
no,
is
he's talking about-
LOOT.
All right, well,
Loot you get like when you they got when
The
they beat
booty.
the big bad. Yeah, the booty.
Gotta eat the booty like
Which,
groceries.
Before that, the paladin saying all that stuff, but also being kind of quirky in the middle of it, like saying the level of booty and stuff like that. I was like, that's somebody trying to play a paladin, but they crack up a little bit being normal.
Well, before you rate it, what you already said who your favorite character was. Who's y'all's favorite character? If you'd say,
Oh,
I
mine
guess-
was the sorcerer, but I really
Right.
like the barbarian.
right.
Just because I played a sorcerer like that.
I guess the druid was mine. The tiefling.
And tieflings can be normal colored. They don't have to be red or purple or green.
I low-key wish that they had made her a color though.
Yeah, a little bit. But I also like seeing I don't ever see a regular colored tiefling. People usually don't make those. They usually make them red or some unique color that's not canon or it's homebrewed.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pick one out that I specifically think is my favorite. I liked how they all work together.
Yeah, I liked all of them.
I like.
but
I
I've
like
played
the
a
bard
sorcerer like
probably
that.
the most because it's what I strive to be. Being a bard, but
That you can never play.
I can never play.
I've tried to tell
It's
you.
giving
how
me
to play.
newfound hope that I can try
Oh
to
my
play it.
God.
Tyler's
the
just
next
gonna go
campaign.
around with his loot trying to beat people up with it.
Right. I was just gonna say, yeah, it is hard to pick one, but I like the only because I played the lawful paladin. I like the paladin, and I like the interaction between the bard and the paladin because the bard is so sick of the damn paladin and the way he's acting and stuff.
I hate
He
you.
definitely gave me
I love
Kavar
that.
vibes.
Yes, and I was like,
Yeah.
so
But
I'd
you
have to
play
say,
it in like you. A lot of people give the lawful good paladin crap
yeah,
because they're the ones who are like, you can't do that. You can never do that. But Scott is one of those that can play it in
Pretty
a
well.
fun way, in a good way. That's fun and not like everybody's like, oh, I hate this person.
dude, I love Kavar.
Yeah, he's
It does
pretty good.
get annoying sometimes when it's like you hear someone say help in the background and we're just really trying to move forward.
Yeah, and we're like,
And that's
Oh,
the-
yeah,
that's
We
I
what
am-
they
have
did.
to help. and
I
the
am
next thing
here
we
to hold
know,
the party up.
We're there
when-
for the rest of the night.
But that's the fun of it. Like
Yeah.
he plays it good instead of
Yeah.
being like an ass the whole time.
yeah,
That's
I didn't
true.
think it was too much in the movie,
Nah.
and it was funny that he wasn't understanding anybody's sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, that's sarcasm.
or it's irony. He was like,
Yeah.
I think irony is worse for the people that behold it, or something like
And
that.
he's like, that makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah.
I do wish that at the end of the movie they would have pulled back and it would have been a whole table full of friends.
That probably would have been cliche though, and they were like, we can't do that. They were expecting
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, maybe they're trying to keep it in the realm in case they want to make
Well,
more movies.
they
and
did.
stuff like
I
that.
think they did kind of do that when they were in the maze and they pulled up out of the maze and the nobles were sitting around because they made it look like a grid. They made it
That's
look
true.
like blocks
When-
and
yeah.
grids and stuff, and everybody was
They
running
showed the
to each
map at the
part.
beginning too, where they were moving from one
Yeah.
place to the other.
What is she doing? Could you please stop that? And she was like,
Yeah.
that.
Them people got fucked up in that room. You saw
Yeah.
their eyes and shit. And
They
That
were
kinda
round
shows, like,
0.
You got this like funny campaign the whole time, and like all this funny stuff happens, and then for no reason it just gets super serious and dark because that's the DM's like their head cracks back and you see them scream or something like that, and you're like, oh my god, we were just making fun of a gnome back there.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone's rating on it. I guess you want to start.
I mean,
Trevor?
loots. I give it 8 loots out of 10.
I don't know. It's to me.
Don't get
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
your
god, I didn't
opinion.
Yeah.
know it's
I
my
mean,
just-
dream.
Can we do half loots?
I mean, just
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
do
sure.
whatever.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
If you're gonna give it a 7, just give it a 7 or a 6.
A seven
No,
and a
that's what it
half.
said. It says giving it 7.5.
You
loops.
said woo to me, giving it an 8. Like you're about to give it a 5 or
that's
something.
way too
No.
much.
yeah.
Yeah, that half star.
0.5 more?
Yeah, Jesus.
What are you
Christ.
giving it?
A 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 loots. You gotta say
Mm-mm.
it.
Gold coins.
Oh no,
Ugh.
that's
Well,
loots.
gold coins can't be loot, so
I'd give it an 8 also.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 loots.
All right.
I knew it.
All
I
right,
knew
I'm
Scott was
taking-
gonna be the highest.
I'm
But
moving
I
mine
only-
up
He's
no,
so
but I
optimistic.
no, but I like it because
Is that waffle
I
good?
really I probably enjoyed this movie too much, but I liked
That's how I feel
the
about me,
different
but-
parts of it, and I felt like it blended well together. But it was still a funny story. Like it's still D&D and it's funny.
Yeah,
and
they-
so that's why I enjoyed it.
They kept to the classic campaign of D&D.
Yeah.
And I will say, if somebody, you might show this to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, that's what you do. That looks kind of fun." Or somebody who's like, if you, somebody's not showing the movie, kind of alluding to this is what happens when we play. They might be like, "This movie, this ain't that great."
Right,
So-
but that's what I'm saying. Outside of it, it really probably isn't that great of a movie. But a segue into D&D, if somebody was trying to show somebody this, I think they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Addison, what do you give it out of 10
No, I don't
loots?
even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
Let me
This is
hear
the
it.
hardest movie
Let me
critic
hear it.
over here.
Yeah, I don't want to
Dude,
hear it.
We
This-
gotta hear it. We gotta rip the band-aid off. Give it to us.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh god, how many loots?
Yeah, I guess probably 4 out of 10.
I knew it.
I knew
Oh,
I
that's
knew
not
it was
too
gonna be
bad.
a 4.
Get out.
That's okay.
Maybe 3.5.
Oh,
It's probably
yeah.
gonna be like a 2 on Letterboxd.
Fuck!
I knew it.
It's gonna be a 2 on Letterboxd.
Yeah, he said he already did put it at a 2 on Letterboxd.
Oh my
Jeez.
I'd
goodness.
probably put it at a 4 on
yeah,
Letterboxd.
me too.
I'll put it
Yeah,
at a
but you
4
don't
'cause
have
I put
a
everything
connection
at a
to-
4
That's
on
what I'm saying. Like
Letterboxd.
the whole D&D aspect, like
Not as good as Ratatouille
It didn't feel.
or Shrek.
It didn't feel like a superhero movie. Nothing. I get it too about it being like Marvel-esque and like the funniness and stuff like that. But at least it didn't feel like a Marvel superhero movie
Yeah.
to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it
it
didn't
wasn't
to me.
Because I've even got burnt out on Marvel movies.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
even watch them.
Oh yeah,
anymore.
this whole
That Owlbear scene where she grabs the Red Witch or the Red Wizard.
And
slams
slams
the
them.
ground.
Yeah,
It's literally
yeah.
just a Hulk and Loki from
yeah, that's what I was.
They
that's
probably
what I
could have
said.
picked something out, but you, like, I feel like that
What
is
was it
like
rated?
you were saying.
Was it PG-13?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I don't think.
I mean, they can't do like
I mean,
her
there were no
ripping her in
boobies in it.
half. What
I
we
thought
would
it was
do.
rated R because I
There's
got
no
a
boobies in it.
I got a notification when I bought the tickets that like under 17 or some shit.
It's PG-13.
No, it was PG-13.
No, the under 17 thing is because
It was
the
after
movie started after
7.
7 p.m.
Okay.
They have a curfew there.
Look, 4.4. There you go, Addison.
Oh,
That's
IMDb
probably
gave it a
mainly
7.6. I thought it was a
people watching it.
4.6. A 90% Rotten Tomato.
Which you don't enjoy D&D that.
What
much,
is Common
do you?
Sense Media?
Just not playing it, yeah.
I mean, that's true. Dude.
Which is nothing.
That's
more
what
than
I'm
picking
saying.
it.
Like that's why I could see why he would rate it. Like
That's
that,
why it's
because-
like 4 and 5, and then 2 and 1, and then you got 3 in the middle. Because most people, they're either gonna like not really like it, or they're gonna be like, "This was amazing."
Yeah, I wouldn't have told my parents to go watch it in theaters necessarily. But if we're like having a Sunday afternoon and it's like, what movie should we watch? I'd be like, oh, this one's pretty cool. I think they would watch it.
This is the release date is March 3rd, 2023.
I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of grown ass men that be like, "I kind of want to play D&D now."
yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna see that other ramp up in D&D players because
God.
in a minute since Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
fucking,
Yeah.
just leave it to us.
Are you gatekeeping?
Yeah,
Damn them.
No. I'm just saying we're gonna see another ramp up.
it is funny seeing the gatekeeping people, especially when it ramped up when Critical Role got there. They're like, "Whoa."
Trivia for the movie on IMDb.
Yeah, there might be some stuff we didn't know about. Well, we knew the Forgotten Realms. Oh, that's actually a person. That's actually a. I didn't know that the fat dragon was actually a dragon in the lore, I guess. I feel
Huh.
like they probably could have
Dead
done
air.
more.
So the trivia items below may give away important plots. Bradley Cooper makes a cameo.
They say
Bradley
it
Cooper
twice.
makes a brief appearance as Helga's
Yeah, see,
ex-husband.
I knew it. The characters of the Dungeons and Dragons animated series you've seen in the maze. I knew that because I remember that dude in the yellow, because that's a goofy ass fucking.
Yeah.
That's like some animated shit where they're like, that's the only color they could use. It was good pace. They
Yeah,
kept it going.
I never got bored with it. It constantly showed something new. I'm really bad
Magical
about.
experience. A fun 2 hours. I'll give you a fun 2 hours. We'll play Minecraft.
This movie popcorn's starting to hit the IBS stomach.
Yeah,
Oh,
I gotta,
yeah.
I gotta poop too.
All right, maybe we should
We're
wrap
about
it
to
up.
wreak havoc on this plumbing.
Thanks for watching. We all have to poop, apparently.
I'm the only one that doesn't have to.
We enjoyed the movie. If go see
Must
it
be
if you
full
like
moon.
D&D, and tell us if you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe on everything. If you don't like it, just don't tell us, or you could tell us. It helps the algorithm, I guess. But
Nah, tell us.
No
We
judgment.
want to know.
yeah, no judgment. We get it. Love you. Bye.